Hello, welcome to this channel Gain Java Knowledge, and today in this video we will learn how to implement JWT in Spring Boot application to make our REST API secure. So first we will discuss what is JWT. JWT stands for JSON Web Token, and this is a secure way to communicate between the client and server. We can securely transfer the information over the web, and it can be used for an authentication system and can also be used for information exchange. And this token is mainly composed of three parameters, that is header, payload and signature. And JWT completely follow stateless authentication mechanism. It means input state will never save in server memory or in cookies. Why we need JWT? JWT works based on once per request and generate the token one time and use this token for all APIs. Means for each request we can use same token until it's expired. Traditional approach, what we do, we need to authenticate each request with hardcode username and password. To overcome this issue, JWT come into picture and generate once and use for each request. And in JWT will generate token that contains username and password but in encrypted form. So no need to pass hardcode username and password for each request. Just send the token and it will be authenticate the request. You can see JWT official site jwt.io. That is JSON web tokens are an open, and here we can see JSON web token contains three parameters, that is header, payload and verified signature. And this is the token that is in encrypted form. It is a string and separated by dot. Contains mainly three parts: header, payload and signature, separated each part by dot. JWT token contains mainly three parts that is separated by dot. First one is header. There we will specify the algorithm, which algorithm we are using. That is algorithm H2 HS256 and type is JWT. And the second part is payload, that contains the user details like this, that is user details. In payload we will send request. And the third part is signature, that contains information about verified signature. Let's start to write the code. So first we will create one Spring Boot project, and here I have already created one Spring Boot project, and here I have just created one main class and one entity class, that is user entity, that contains two fields, that is username and user password. So this entity class contains only two fields, username and password, and one is its primary key ID. And here I have created the same model class that contains two fields, username and password. And here I have created user repository, and here I am using JPA repository, and it is our model class, that is entity, and it's the data type of this primary key. And here I have created one mapper class that is used to convert our entity to model class and our model class to entity class. And in our application.properties file I have mentioned all the properties to connect with MySQL database. So here I am using local DB, and here I have used Spring JPA Hibernate DDL auto use update. So when I will run this application, this table will be automatically created in my database. So here we can see there is no table. When I will run this application, the table will be created automatically. And here in my pom.xml, I have added the dependencies: Spring Boot Starter dependency, Spring Boot Starter JPA, Spring Boot Starter Security, and Spring Boot Starter Web, and MySQL Connector.java, and also added dev tools, so no need to start again and again, it will automatically handle. And like this, we have added map construct dependency tool that we have used in our mapper class to map the model with entity. I will run this application and the table will be created automatically. Run as Java application, and here you can see on the console, when the application will be started, the table will be automatically created. And here we can go to our database and refresh it. Then we can see here user details table created, and it contains no data. So here you can see table is created. So here I will add few entries, that is a username and password, one, and password, that will be password, and username is user here that we will use. So I will save it. Now I will go to my application. So here to validate the username and password, first here I will create one class, that is security config. So here first I will create one package, that is config package, new package, that is demo.config, and in this package I will create one class, that is security config. So first I will refresh it and package structure will be fine. Now I will create class, that is security config, and security config class will extend the web security config adapter, extends web security config adapter, and at class level I will use the annotation, that is @configuration and @web security enabled. @enable web security. Now here in this class we need to implement configure method that contains the parameter is authentication manager builder. So here I will remove this one. And here in this function we need to call user detail service class. So first I will create one user detail service class, user detail service. So here I will create our own custom user detail service class. For this first I will create one package, that is new package dot service, and in this package I will create one custom user detail service class, new class custom details service, and here I will use annotation, that is @service, and this class will extend implements user detail service, and here we need to add an implemented method, that is load by username. So here I will call the function of user repository, and so we need to inject user repository here. So here I will inject the user repository, user repository, that is repository, and here I will call the function find by username from user repository. User repository dot find by username function I will call, and we'll pass the parameter as username, and here we need to create the method find by username, and this function will return user entity as return type. So here this will return user entity. Now we need to convert this user entity into our user detail object. So here I will return new user, and here I will read the parameter from user entity. So here I will just write here user dot get username, user dot get password. So I will fetch the information from this object, and here we need to pass one empty list to provide the 30s. So here just I am passing empty list, empty array list, new array list, and semicolon. Now it's showing some error, so here just remove this one, and now this method will return the user details with the help of username. Will go to my security config class, and here I will call the function user detail service, and here we need to inject the custom detail. Here I will inject the object by using auto void, and here I will inject the object of custom user detail service. So here I will just copy this and paste it here, and here we need to create one more bean in security config class, that is for password encoder, because we are using Spring version above 2.x version. So here we have created the bean for password encoder also. I will go to my controller and will create one REST endpoint and will test it. Now I will creating a new package, that is, so here I will create, and in this package I will create one class, that is message controller, and at class level I will use annotation, that is @REST controller, and here I will create one endpoint. Get message, Spring Boot without JWT, and here I will use @get mapping annotation. Now I will run this application again, but it's already started and we have used JWT tools, dev tools, so no need to run it again. So I will go to my browser and hit this REST endpoint, that is localhost 8080, and it will ask for the username and password for security purpose. So I will restart this application again, run as Java application. it's showing some error. No property find by username. So here I need to check our user entity class. So I will go to my user entity, and here I will check the name of the properties, that is username. And now I will go to user repository.java and find by, here I have missed the D, so I will save it, find by username. And now I will go to my security config class custom user detail service and need to change the function name here also. So here I will add D. Now I will run this application again. Now our application has started. So now I will hit this REST endpoint. Here it will ask for username and password, and we have already saved one user in database. So I will set user as a username and password as a password. So here you can see Spring Boot without JWT is the message returned by our REST endpoint. Now here if I will try with invalid credential, that is localhost 8080, and we'll enter some other keys, then I will try to sign in, but it will not authenticate. We can see we have successfully implemented Spring Security, but now here we want to implement JWT. So the main purpose of JWT is to securely exchange the information, and no need to send the hardcode username and password for each request. Just generate the single token, and that will be used for each and every request until the token expired. So now here what we need to do, we need to generate a token. And so first we will add JWT library in our pom.xml. So first I will go to my pom.xml. And here I will paste the dependency, that is JWT dependency. We have added the JWT library. So now what we need to do, we need to write the logic for to generate the token and to validate the token. Now what I will do, first I will create one new package and create one util class, and in this util class I will write the logic to generate the token and the validate the token. So first I will create one new package, that is util package, and in this package I will create one new class, that is util class. And in this class I will write the logic to generate the token and to validate the token. Here at class level I will use the annotation, that is @component. So I will use the bean of this class and can inject into our another class. Here I have already created the template for this class, so I will just paste it here. And here I will use java.util.function, and here I will use JSON web token signature algorithm, and here I will use the java.util.map and java.util.date. So here we can see the code. Here I have write the code for to generate the token and to validate the token. And here you can see the method, that is generate token, and the argument is username. So first time when user will send the request, and then based on the username it will generate a token, and here it's calling the function that is create token, and here it's calling create token method, and in create token method we can see it's using the JWT library, that is jwts.builder, and setting the claim, and claim is nothing but it's just an empty map that we have created here, and then it's setting the subject, and subject is our username, and setting the issue date for this token when it will be generated, that the issue date, and we have already set the expiration time for this token, that is our current date, and we have added the time for how much time we want to give this token, and after this time it will be expire. And in the next we have sign with, that is signature algorithm, which algorithm we are using for to generate the encrypted string. So here we can see multiple algorithms, but here we are using HS256, and it is the secret key that we have right here. There you can see, and here you can see one more function that is used for to validate the token, and here we are passing the token and user details as the arguments in this function, and here we are using extract username function to get the username from this token, and after that we are here also checking is token expired function, and here our token will be generated in the form of encrypted string. And this class also contains few more methods, that is extract all claims, extract claim, but here we are just going to use two methods, that is generate token and another one is validate token that we will use. Now we will create one more REST endpoint that is used to generate the token. So I will go to my controller class, and in my controller class I will create one more REST endpoint. Here I will create public string generate token, and here I will pass the request body. And so for this I need to create one more model class. So first here I will go to my model package and will create one model class. In my model package I will create new class, that is JWT request, and this class will contain two fields, that is username and password. So I will stop my server first, and here I will go and add two fields, that is private password, and here I will generate setter and getter method for this source, generate getters and setters. So I will select all and generate setter getter for both. Now I will go to my message controller, and here I will use JWT request model as a request body. So here I will use request I will use @post mapping annotation, and here I will define the URL, that is generate token. Here in this class we will use Java util class, JWT util class. So first I will inject this class into our class, that is private JWT util, because in this class we need to generate the token, and we have write the logic in JWT util class to generate token. So first I will inject this class, and here I will copy it. And what we need to do, one more thing. So first we need to here also create one more bean for authentication manager. So first I will go to my security config class, and here I will create one more bean for authentication manager, security config class, and here I need to create one more bean that I will use in my controller class. So here I will create the bean for authentication manager, and here I have created the bean, and bean name is this authentication manager. Authentication manager bean I have created. Now I will go to my controller class, and here I will call authentic. Here I will inject this bean into my class, into my controller. So here I will use private authentication manager, and this auth manager. So here I will use authentication manager. Now here I will use the bean name as same authentication manager. So here I will call the authentication manager dot authenticate function, and in this authentication function I will create the new username and password authentication token, new username and new username password authentication token, and here I will pass the credentials, that is username and password, that I will get from our request dot get username, get username, and request dot get password. And here I will do this, but I will place this code into a try catch block. So if there will be no exception, then only I will generate the token. Otherwise, no need to generate. So here I will use catch block. If there will be any exception raised, then I will throw new exception. And here I will pass the message that is invalid credentials. And if there is no exception and everything is fine, then I will return the token by using jwt util dot generate token and pass the username as a parameter, and this I will get from request dot get username, and this method will return the encrypted string that contains the username and password in encrypted format. And here it's showing some compile time error, and we need to add throws declaration here, so it will be removed. Our REST endpoint has created. Now we need to configure in Spring Framework that if the request is coming with /generate token URL, then don't apply the security for this specific URL. We will use this REST endpoint for to generate the token, and Spring Security by default will be enabled for all the REST endpoints. So now we need to disable the Spring Security only for this specific URL. So what we need to do now? So first we will go to security config class, and in security config class we need to override the method that is configure that contains HTTP security, and so here what we will do, so what we did here, first we have disabled the CRF, and after that we have authenticated the request that contains AntMatcher generate token. If any request contain these AntMatchers, that will permit, and any other request that will be need to authenticate it first. So this request that contains generate token will not be authenticated, and all other requests will be authenticated. Now let's verify this is working. So we will run this application first. Go to this class and run this application. Now our application has started. Now I will go to Postman, and here I will call this REST endpoint, that is localhost 8080 generate token, and will pass the request body as username user and password is password. Now I will send it. So here you can see the response generated token is generated. Now I will copy this and will encrypt this token. So I will go to JSON web tokens, and here I will copy it and paste my token here. So here you can see we have used the algorithm is H2S56, and our payload contains the information user as a username and its expiration time of the token, and this is the verified signature. These all details contained by our token. We can see our token has generated. So now we need to call other REST endpoints that we have created here by using this token. Controller, we have already created one more endpoint, that is get mapping. Now we need to use our generated token to get this endpoint information. Here now we will change the message. Now our REST endpoint will return the response with the help of JWT. Now next what we need to do, but before this we need to extract the username from this token, and if the user will be authenticated successfully, then we will allow this REST endpoint to get the information. And to perform this action we need to create one more filter, and here I will create one more class and will create one more new package, that is I will create new package, that is filter package, and in this package I will create one more class, that is JWT filter, new class, that is JWT filter, and here at class level I will use the annotation, that is @component. In this class we will write the logic to authenticate the user and to validate the user. I will extend this class by using extends this class by using once per request filter, and here we need to add unimplemented methods, that is to filter internal. What we will do here, first we need to extract the username from token. So first I will get the authorization from the token, not from token, from header. So first I will get the authorization value that contains our request header, request dot get header function I will call here, and we'll pass the name of the header parameter, that is authorization. So it will read the value of authorization from header. As we know that when we will call this endpoint, authorization will contain the value in this format, that is bearer, and after that space, then our encrypted string that contains username and password, and we can also say it's our token. So our authorization is a parameter name in header. It contains all the information bearer plus this. So it will be like this. When we will read the authorization from header, so it will read all the value with bearer. So first we need to separate the token from bearer. So first here I will define two parameter, that is string token and it will be null, and we'll also use string username and it will be null. We have just initialized as a null value. Now what we will do here, first what we need to do, first we need to validate if the string is not null and the string starts with bearer, then we will perform the next action. So here I have used the action, that is authorization, and if the authorization is not null and also starts with bearer, then we need to perform the next action. So here what we will do, token value we will abstract from authorization header dot substring, that will be start from index 7. And now what we need to do, abstract the username that will be is equal to, and username will be abstract from the class that is jwtutil, because in jwtutil class we have write the function to extract the username. So first I will inject jwtutil class here, util. Now what I will do here, I will extract the username with the help of my token. Here I will pass the token value and extract the username. Now here next what we need to do, here we need to check that username is not equal to null and security context header dot get context and authentication is equal to null. Then we will use custom user detail service to load the user by name. So first we need to inject custom user detail service class here. So here I will use @autovide private custom user detail service and service. So after injecting user detail service, here I will call service dot load user by name, and here I will pass the username that we have already extract. So it will return the object that is user details. Now we need to validate the token, and here we will use jwtutils to validate the token, and here I will call the function that is jwt if jwtutil dot validate token, and here I will pass the parameter that is token and other is user details. If the token is validated successfully, then we will perform next. Here after validating the token, we will validate the user details. So here we are just validating the user details by using username password authentication token, and here we are calling new username password authentication token, and here we have set the details, that is web authentication detail source dot build details, and we have set our request. So it will validate the user details, and after that we will set into our security context holder and authentication will be set successfully. Now next what we will use, here I will call filter chain to filter function and will pass our request and response as a parameter. Now we have created our JWT filter. Next what we need to do, now we need to register this JWT filter into our security config class. So first here I will go to my security config class, that is security config, and here we need to inject filter and we will register the JWT filter. So here I will define here @auto annotation, and we'll inject JWT filter here. JWT filter, and here I will go to my configure method. What we need to do, we need to enable the session policy that is stateless, and as we know, JWT follow the stateless authentication mechanism, and we need to register the JWT filter here. And here I will just paste it. And what I did here I have just set the authentication exception handling and session management that is stateless, and we have registered our JWT filter along with this, and here we have used username password authentication filter dot class. Now we have created. Now I will run this application again and will check and verify our token is working fine or not. So I will run this application, run as a Java application. Now my application has started at port number 8080. So now I will go to Postman, and here I will call this endpoint, and here you can see the response that is Spring Boot with JWTE. If I will remove this authorization from here and will hit this endpoint again, here you can see the error because it will not authorize the user, and it's sending 403 forbidden. Okay, thanks for watching this video.